Hey there! What gear to buy for beginners in rental karting? In this video, I'll share the essential gear for beginner karting, my personal recommendations and some tips I've learned during my first year on track. The importance of gear. The very first time I went rental karting after many years, I went without gear and had to buy a balaclava and use a helmet with a scratchy visor. My hands went numb from driving without gloves and the wheels soon became slippery, making my times not great. I figured I'd need to start using some gear at least, and so let's check out everything I considered. Using track provided gear. Many rental karting tracks offer helmets and suits for you to drive with. This is very convenient but also means other people use this gear regularly. Because karting can be a sweaty hobby, I'd always recommend to wear a racing balaclava so you don't touch the gross bits and always keep your own sweat in. As for racing suits, I've never experienced being obligated to wear one. Oh no, I did. This one time in Scotland I had to wear one, but in Belgium they're never obligatory. So I mostly recommend wearing these suits in petrol venues so your clothes don't smell as strongly of exhaust fumes when you finish driving. And as a final note to take into account, the visors of helmets will most of the times be scratched up, so that will lower visibility and comfort as a whole. So, should you buy your own helmet? Well, I decided to buy a helmet because I wanted to record videos with my GoPro, but also because it felt nicer to own one myself, as I did go karting a few times per year at that point. There's usually no surprises with your own gear, and if you maintain it well, it should have a clear visor and comfort features to your liking. So I would recommend buying one or using a motorcycle helmet that you may already own, but then you would be doing that right now. If you plan on going 5 times per year or more and plan on recording races, I would buy one. But if you go less, I would hold out on buying one if you're not sure yet whether rental karting is a hobby for you on the long term. My helmet is a low-speed motorbike helmet, so it only cost me 80 euros and it does the job just fine, so no need for those fancy karting helmets that cost you 500 euro. It's fine for many hours that I've been driving so far. It doesn't look as cool as the karting specific ones, but those are way more expensive and should just be getting into that once you get a bit more intermediate level in karting. Then next, do you need a racing suit? I would say not really. There's a point to be made that you may drive better if you feel like a nice suited up professional driver, but I just use a few decent t-shirts, a dedicated sweater and some jeans to drive in. So from a safety perspective, it might be smarter to wear a racing suit, paying attention to fire safety and the event you get ejected from a kart. But, well, they do offer some fire resistance and some resistance to road rash, that's why I'm saying that. But usually the karts, they have decent protection. With modern karts, there's almost no way you get ejected from one because you have a seat belt in most of them. Even though, yeah, some people don't like the seat belts, but they are safer. Yeah, they're just safer. I would plan on buying a suit quite soon, just to prevent my clothes from getting dirty and to lessen the stench on my clothes. So I've recently ruined the shirt because the sweat mixed in with some black from the seat, and a racing suit would have been better in that case. But as I said, you can always use one of the suits provided at the venue instead of forking out quite a hefty sum for a racing suit of your own. But yeah, you can always get one of the Sparkos if you want. Additional gear to consider. Well, gloves made a big difference for me. I bought some motocross gloves instead of motorsports ones because my hands, I'm scared if they fling out that they would bump into something, and then the extra padding makes some difference when you would bump into something with your hand. I just find them more comfortable to drive with too. They have a bit more grip than the other gloves, and I think they cost about 20 euro when I got them. They lasted 2 years so far, of which one I've been driving a lot more, so they seem to be fine for the money. Also, I couldn't recommend the ribcage protector enough. When I wasn't taking rental karting as a hobby all too serious yet, I had no gear aside from my helmet and my gloves and crashed into the barrier, which bruised several of my ribs. This hurt for a long while and made me scared to corner at speed for a few months, so eventually I recovered, but the protector would have prevented most of that, basically. I bought one of the ribcage protectors at my local track for about €80, and I always wear it. So in time, I do sense that it's going to wear a lot faster. It's already breaking down at some points, but yeah, at some points I'll get a more professional one that lasts more. But for now, it does its job just fine. I wouldn't bother with racing shoes all too much. Just wear some cheap sneakers that can get dirty. They don't prevent me from driving the way I do. I mean, it's just pressing the throttle and the brake, so I don't know how much more you want to utilize shoes, but yeah, just don't buy those yet. It's way too early for that. I hope you've learned some things about essential gear and optional gear you can buy as a beginner. If I did skip out on some gear you would recommend, let me know, and if you have more questions, let me know in the comments as well. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. So thanks for watching, and until the next one.